Here are the tests on my 1948 Crane Drexel. I can actually see the whole logo now, unlike before with that seat on it. It is set to the water line in the tank and using a Douglas style flush valve. One thing I didn't mention before is why I have two fill valves underneath the tank. It's because this tank weighs about as much, if not more, than the bull, and I'm not even exaggerating. This thing is heavy. I'll weigh it eventually, but now I'm going to do the tests. So anyway, let's give this toilet a flush and see how it does on tests. The flush is beautiful. It almost looks like it would have terrible bowl clearance. My Oxford was similar, and it reminds me of those mid-90s Elger Patriots and Savoys and all those with the real weak flushes that clog on absolutely everything. But from experience, these Crane toilets are beasts. One thing to mention is that when I got it, I felt the inside of the bowl when it was all dirty still, and it had that glaze roughness that some toilets get, and I was really disappointed. But I had a 1948 Crane Drexel, so that was still a plus. And then when I was doing the acid cleaning on it, I just watched that stuff melt away and felt my little scrubbing pad go smoother and smoother, and I just had an ear-to-ear grin on my face when I realized this glaze is like new. Listen to that. Listen to that squeak. That is good glaze, and it is in perfect condition. So I'm going to add some water to the bowl, and now let's see if it can take a washcloth. Also, the tank ball is kind of buggy, so sometimes it doesn't close all the way. I'll try my best to make it work properly, but if not, oh well. It'll pass perfectly. As expected, it had no issues at all. Now, let's see if it can take a grocery bag. I don't know how this could possibly fail. It didn't siphon at the end, but sometimes it just does that. It passed the bag flawlessly though. Now, let's see if it can take the grocery bag and the washcloth together. You know, I think this will pass flawlessly. I just don't doubt it. This toilet was made by an expert manufacturer, so I think that it will do it perfectly. I think it might have struggled just a tiny little bit, but there was no way that was going to clog. It did very, very well. When I say this toilet was made by an expert manufacturer, I'm not talking about Crane. I'm talking about Tipico or Tipeco, that logo with the star in it that you saw in the tank on the first video. Because back then, Crane didn't actually make their toilets. They designed them, and then they were made by Tipico or Tipeco, however you want to say it. I actually do not know the correct pronunciation, so if anybody knows how the name is pronounced, please feel free to let me know. So I've seen this company name on a lot of toilets before. They were a pretty big one, along with Trenton Potteries, Keystone Potteries, Camden Potteries, all these ones that you see the big logo on the back of the toilet when there's a different one on the top. I think you know what I'm talking about. I've got a few videos of toilets like this. So anyway, let's see if it can take a dish towel. I really don't know. It could go either way. That's a clog if I ever saw one. It looks like it's gonna go through. It took it part way already. So I'm gonna wait for the tank to fill up, hope the wind doesn't blow my tripod over, and see if it can take that in another flush. I'll still say it failed because it overflowed, and an overflow is a definite failure. But if it gets it through, that'll be impressive. Oh, it's all bumpy under here from like drips of the glaze when it was being made. I don't think any number of flushes could have cleared that clog. I think this time probably won't be any different, but it's worth a shot. Was I wrong or what? I think the reason that it failed the first time is because it took the middle of the cloth first, forcing all of the edges to come together at once. But this time it looked like it started to take it from the middle, but then it took one of the edges and pulled it through in a straight line, which is how I hope all toilets will take it. So that did really, really well. Overall, I'd say the performance of this toilet is amazing. I think that it's probably equivalent to the standard compact from the same time in terms of performance. Now, I don't know how it will flush, and I don't know how the bowl, obviously I know how it'll flush. What I mean is, I don't know how the rinse will be, and I don't know how the bowl clearance will be. I know on the compact it was great. So first, let's see how it flushes with a dry bowl, then I'll do a clogged siphon jet test, and then, last but not least, I'll do the dirt test. I think with a dry bowl, this should flush pretty normally, except I think the flush might be even a little bit more satisfying because it will most likely siphon at the end. Now that was nice. I almost think that was more satisfying than the regular flush with the bowl set to the correct water level. However, the regular flush would definitely be more effective. Now, let's see how it flushes with a clogged siphon jet. I honestly have no idea what it will do, so let's just watch. I'm kind of disappointed that it didn't siphon, but this toilet has proven itself to be amazing in performance, so I'm not going to blame it. It needs its siphon jet. Now let's see if it can take dirt. This toilet really doesn't seem like it has the kind of flush that would do well on this test, but considering it's a Crane from 76 years ago and it has been so amazing already, I think it'll do the job just fine. If that's not perfect bowl clearance, I don't know what is. Let's see the rinse. Perfect on the right side. Perfect in the front. Missed a tiny, tiny little bit on the left side. And perfect in the back. This toilet has an absolutely amazing flush. That tiny little bit on the left side, in reality, means nothing. This toilet would function just fine on normal use, and it has done very, very well on these tests. Overall, I love this toilet. It's proven to be amazing in basically every way, and I bet with the quality that this toilet was made with, it would probably even hold up in a commercial restroom, assuming someone didn't break the tank lid or anything. So anyway, that is all for this video. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps my channel a lot and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching and see you guys in the next video.